Today we're doing something that every car guy and car girl never want to do. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're back on the E46. Storm is very happy about it. And we are going to be tinkering. Now, it's nothing crazy, but it's just some things that I need to get done before we send it off because it's going to make life easier for the workshops. And also, it's going to save me a little bit of money. So let's jump into the video and we'll cover off what we're going to do today. All right, so we've got a few little jobs to do today. The first one is gonna be raising the front end. So I actually raised it a little while ago, but it didn't raise. I mean, it did, but I think maybe, I know the 1J isn't heavier, like a lot heavier than the M54, blah, 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 all of those numbers that BMW uses for the engines in these. But yeah, I think we were just a lot more slammed than I thought we were. So I need to raise that up because currently it's too low and it's just going to be a pain to get on and off of trailers, things like that. This is the max speeding rods coilovers, so they're coming out anyway. So it doesn't really matter what height they're set to. So we're going to wind those up. So let's start by jacking the side of the car up to jack the front of the car up to take the wheels off and spin them up. And I'll show you how to do it because there's some idiots out there. Yeah, that's right. Idiots out there that when they learn, they go, no, that's not right. Okay, well, if the bottom locking collar and the threads that go into the bottom housing aren't how to change your height, what are they there for? Let's jump in and raise this car. All right, now some of you may be wondering, why the hell have I jacked the car up so high? Now, two reasons. Number one, when you're raising a car, which a lot of people, I guess, don't know maybe, because none of us want to do it. Obviously, if you jack the car up this much, like the wheel's this much off the ground, and then you raise it this much, you're not gonna be able to get your wheel back on. So, obviously there's that, but we do have another job after this. So once this is raised, I'm actually gonna put the ramps back under and put it on the ramps because I need to get under the car. I need to get under the car. Wow, I said that weird. Anyway, so let's do this. We're gonna spin it up a lot, probably like 20 turns, something like that. So it's gonna look gross, but it's gonna go on a trailer real easy. So let's get it. Now, a little bit of knowledge for anyone who doesn't know or anyone who thinks that they know and they don't know. On this style of coilover, there are a few types of coilovers out there. On this style, where you have the locking collar here, this one, this locking collar, you hear that, trolls? This one, you undo this, and to lower the car, you shorten the shock. You turn all of this into the base, right? Into here, okay? That will shorten the entire length of this, therefore bringing the wheel closer into the arch and therefore lowering your car. This is for your preload on your spring. You don't want to mess with that. You can if you're really like going crazy into tuning and all that kind of stuff, but for us normal street driving guys that aren't, you know, super track oriented or whatever, you leave this, okay? 5mm preload is pretty much what they do across the board. And these ones are actually a little bit special, a little bit different. This actually has an adjustable fitting here, so you can connect this in. It's very nice. So when you lengthen it, you can obviously move this. When you shorten it, you can move this. Now today, I will be loosening this and I will be turning the spring out that way, anti-clockwise, to lengthen the length of the entire assembly and therefore raising the car. Now my aim is to do about 20 turns and really get some height out of this because the higher it is, easier it is to get on and off of trailers, dynos, things like that. I don't want it to be a headache for anybody who's going to be working on this car. Then when we get it back and it's registered, well, you know, we'll go from there. Oh my God, check it out. The car's higher. Oh, God, trolls do my head in. But hey, if you're a troll, feel free to jump in the comments so I can correct you, idiots. Anyway, next job. Next job is the exhaust. So you guys will have seen, we did a really nice exhaust on this. But the way we did it is we tacked everything up and then Chris disappeared, welded it all fully, and then brought it back and we put it in. Now, when he had it here, it fit real nice and like tucked up. I'll try and show you the issue we're having. Now, when we installed it again, see that? See how it hangs down? That should not be hanging down that low. Now, the way it kind of goes is it comes from the turbo down, then it goes like this, like this, like this, and then out the back, all right? So that little piece there, it has a V-band up here and it has a V-band way back there. So what I'm thinking, oh, the other thing I didn't tell you is the middle support, he welded that at home. I tried to mark it up for him and unfortunately it got welded in the wrong spot, and he honestly, he did his best, but it was just in the wrong spot. So what I've realized is because we had the middle brace in, it was actually twisting it down a little bit. Yes, class, it was twisting it down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo the middle mount. The plate that's there, I'll move it to the mounting. Buddy, can you go sit down, please? Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Sit. Sit. Good boy. Good boy. I'm going to move the mount forward a little bit so we're not actually using the mount, but the weight will be held there by the mount essentially. I'll try and explain it when I get under there, but what I'm going to do is get swarmed by my dogs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen off the front V-band, loosen off the back V-band, and then push the exhaust up to where it should be, which should twist the pipe, right? And then tighten both V-bands where it should be. It should sit up nice and tight up in the tunnel. And then I'll put the middle mount back up. Hopefully that fixes it. All right, now I haven't actually tensioned it up yet, but you can already see how it's far more level now, and this doesn't sit so far down. I like it, exactly what I thought. It can twist and kind of like get into position a bit better. So I'm actually gonna go and cut that mount off because thankfully he didn't do massive welds. I might be able to show you. Yeah, there you go. Little welds front and back. Oh, sorry, little welds front and back. I'm just going to quickly get the grinder, cut them out, and then twist it how it needs to be, and then re-bolt up everything. The other little thing is, this now sits perfect. It wasn't, it was a little too close on one of the sides. I think it was this side, and I didn't like it. We did actually take a long time making sure that this sat exactly how I wanted it, because essentially that's the only thing of the exhaust you see, and it actually doesn't stick out further than the back bumper, right? It looks like it sticks out far, but that's thankfully because the bumper kind of kicks back as it goes in. So it means you can have the exhaust look aggressive without, you know, shotgun pipes completely out the back of the car. Like, you have to come quite far back to be able to see them. But when you're back here, they look nice and aggressive. So win. All right, I'm gonna go and cut that mount off, twist everything. What I'll probably do is twist it and put one of those jack stands up underneath it, so it's held in position, and then really reef up those V-bands, make sure they're sitting perfect. No exhaust whatsoever. Now, that is me, obviously, with a jack under it, pushing it as high as it can go. Now, in a dream, that's where it would sit, because obviously it's not the lowest part of the car, but I know when I loosen this off, it will drop a little bit, maybe like 10 mil, but that's okay. So I've gone through, nipped up that V-band, nipped up that V-band, readjusted the tips so they are 100% perfect. Tightened the V-band on the back of the turbo, so this should be good. And that's without the jack. That has adjusted so well. I think this light's actually making things hard to see. Yeah, look at that. Oh man, I'm actually so stoked with that. That sits, that's better than I thought it would. Yeah, that's really good. So obviously I came under here and adjusted this, I cut that off. So now all they have to do is weld that up, and hopefully they can like fill that little gap. Or they, I mean, you can just bend that bracket. That bracket I've made myself. So yeah, it's bendable. You can do whatever you want with it really, but to have that kind of, oh, That is so much better. I'm so happy. All right, now the next job, I'm going to take you over there and tell you all about it. All right, this is the next job. Now, this isn't the underbody brace. Some of them don't have it, some of them do have it. Mine had it, and it got damaged. I think it got hit at some point, and then pulling the engine, someone massacred it. I do have a guy that's going to re-weld that and everything, but what I want to do now, obviously different engine, different positioning, different exhaust, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to kind of put this up to the underside of the car and see if it even fits, because it might not and it might. So if it does, great. If it needs some of this trimming out, I'm more than happy to do that, as long as I keep that kind of frame. I've been told by my boy at CMP Auto Engineering, who's on this build with me, that these are actually really good. They're lightweight, they give a good amount of structural support. So if I can use this. So yeah, I want to obviously keep the supports part of it, but if I need to remove that, that's fine. But that is going to be for next week's video. So thank you for coming along. Thank you for joining in. Please like, comment, subscribe. Hang around for next week to see if we can make that thing work on this beautiful car. And then we can send it off and actually get it wired up and running. God, it's taken way too long. It's taken way too long. But thank you for bearing with me. Appreciate you all. See you next week.